Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Mayer, and today we will be discussing parallel lines, specifically parallel lines on graphs. Today's learning target, you want to be able to say, I can analyze two or more lines and determine if they are parallel. So we're going to be doing two examples. Example one, we're going to take a look at a graph of parallel lines. You notice here we have two steps. Step one, find the slopes of the lines. In fact, if lines are parallel, for step one, your slopes must be equal. So you recall slopes, we say for slopes, they stand for the direction of your line. Okay, so to find a slope, we are going to find first the rise over the run. But specifically, we want more information from here on out. Okay, so on a graph, you have rise, which is your y-axis, run, which is your x-axis. Get in the habit of labeling these things. Labeling always helps you with math, okay? So when we talk about rise, we want to know what is the change in your y values. When I talk about my run, I want to know my change in my x values. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my change in y. So for line F, it is blue right here, we want to find the change between these 2 points, specifically from here to here, how much we move in y. So for y, I'm moving 1 box, 2 box, 3 boxes. Remember, count the boxes, not the dashes. I'm moving 3 and I'm moving down. So it is a -3. Okay, so I'm going to make myself a fraction. I went down 3. So I put -3, change in y on top. How much did I go side to side? I went from 1 box to 2 box. Okay, so this is 2 to the right. This is a +2. And here is my slope for F. For the slope of G, I'm doing the exact same thing. Starting off at the 2 points, yikes, there are no points listed like F had. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to find where does the graph, the actual grid paper, cross my line. So where do all these things cross? Here is a crossing point, so I can put a point right here for myself. Oh, this doesn't cross the grid. This doesn't make a corner of the box. Doesn't make a corner of the box, doesn't make a corner of the box. So at this point, this is the next location where I can put a point because it's where the corner of the squares on my grid are. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. And again, I want to find the change in y. My rise is my change in the y. And I'm going to count 1 box, 2 box, 3 boxes down. So it's negative. So I got -3 divided by my run, which is my change in my x value. So I'm going to count over 1 box and 2 boxes. And it was to the right. So again, it was positive. Hey, we did it. These are matching. Slopes must be equal. Matching, matching. So step 1, check, we got that. Step 2, this is the easier part to decide. Make sure your y-intercepts are different. Again, where do your lines cross your y-axis? Well, this one's positive, so I think we are good to go. No matter what I get up here, this one is a positive. Oh, it's just up 1, so the coordinate is 0 for x. And for the y, I went +1. Now, if I look at my g, down here, it is a negative value. So since this is a negative value, all I'm noticing is it's somewhere between 1, 2, and 3, -2 and 3. In fact, it's looking to be about, doesn't have to be exact, but for my x and y value, my y is maybe -2.5. My x has to be exactly 0. I did not go side to side. These are different, different, different. Yes, these lines are parallel. Okay, so that's exactly, this is a perfect explanation of what we want to see. So let's take a look at example 2. Again, most important thing you understand, find the slopes of the lines. Remember, your slopes must be equal if they are parallel. Okay, parallel, you're looking at it and saying, Mr. Mayer, that's a waste of time. These lines are not touching. But in fact, Truly, this is the only way we can check to see if for sure that these are going to be parallel. So if I'm going to find the slope of f, again, we said rise over the run, the change in the y over the change in the x. So my rise from this point to this point, I went up 1 this time. So it's a positive 1. How many did I go side to side? 1 box, 2 box, 3 boxes. Side to side at 3, and it was to the right, so it is positive. So my fraction here is 1/3. I'm doing the exact same thing for my G line, and I'm starting, again, yikes, no points are given. So I'm in charge of making my own points. Make it at the corner of the boxes from the grid paper, okay? And you could choose any you want. Maybe you choose this one and this one. Maybe you choose this one. Maybe you choose this one. It makes no difference, because at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up 1. Rise was 1. Count over to the right 2, so it's a positive 2. And at this point, is there any way that these can ever be equal? Maybe I simplify the fraction. Maybe I do something. No, these are never going to be equal. So do I even have to do step 2? You're done. This is completely finished for you. These are not parallel. Okay, thanks for watching this video, guys. Please tune in for the next video that discusses parallel lines using equations.